I'm Sopes.
And I'm Gander.
And welcome to this special May Contain interview episode.
We have people in the cage.
Right here with us.
Bam! We finally got him in. I'm excited.
I'm pumped.
That's right, guys. We've got two key members from Cyan-Eyed. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the interview that follows, because we'll explain everything in the interview.
Yeah, exactly. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Enjoy. Hey guys, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you guys for joining us as well. So,
it's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, we're excited.
That's
this
it,
is the
we're
first time we've got people into the cage with us, and you know, you guys are, to us, you know, we're very excited to have you here.
Oh,
Guys, I would like to introduce you officially to everyone watching at home. So we've got Ryan Grobens here. And we also have Jasmine Watkins.
Hello.
So, and these guys, they're making a movie, something I've always wanted to do myself and never been able to. So, Cyan-Eyed, guys. Yes. This is your third film?
Third film, yeah. It's a short animated film. And
yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, just wanted to each film try something different, and
yep.
so Cyan-Eyed did something different than what I've done before, and
yep.
it's what helps keep me going, because if I didn't have this, you know,
yep.
I don't know.
You don't know what you're doing. No creative outlet.
I probably spend more time with my family.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And yeah, you're writer and director.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent. And you're the producer, Jasmine.
I am.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, I mean, I don't know anything about producing myself.
No, we do this. That's about it.
That's about it. So
it's barely keeping a lid on the crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's, you know, the warden of the crazy house.
Yeah?
Yeah. We currently have 30 plus
Yep.
crew members spread out all around the world.
Yeah.
Mainly, we're based in Adelaide.
Yep. Which is awesome.
So, even though we live in Adelaide,
Yeah.
trying to get in touch with everybody else.
Yeah. Some late night calls happening there, I bet.
And just lots of follow-up notes, like, can
Yeah.
you respond? Can you please respond? You know,
Yeah.
Hello, are
Yeah.
you still alive?
Yeah. So it's producer / hassler is the term, is it? Yes.
No slash, just
Hassler.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hassler.
Awesome. And you've done producing before? Is this your first?
No, this
yeah?
is my first.
Yeah.
It's quite an honour to work on this film.
Yeah.
And it being.
I wouldn't know it though. She like really keeps me on my toes.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Good. That's it.
I've actually never had a producer on my films before, and I mean it's something that, you know, the producer-director relationship, you know, so I've seen in documentaries. There's always
Yeah.
this love-hate relationship. Like,
Yeah.
I really need her, but at the same time, it's like, stop bothering me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you're the scheduler. You
I am.
make everything flow.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very naturally bossy. So
Oh,
that-
okay.
it helps.
Awesome. Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Brilliant.
all the skills are already there. Yeah.
Yes. But I learned so much on this this project, especially internet and
Yeah.
tech-wise, because I've never worked on an animation before.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they're talking about stuff that I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what
And
is
I'm sure
happening.
they're using the complicated words and throwing it out. Yeah.
You just send up a quick email. What are these words?
Yeah.
mean?
Help.
Google internet search. What is this?
Yes. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, third film. So let us. We watched the first two today.
Yeah, watched your previous two features and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which was the
Sneeze me away.
yeah, Sneeze Me Away and the Rose of
Tarita.
I can't say it. It's like my life. Because it said in an accent. It was said in an accent when we first watched it.
That's-
We're
yeah,
going to
yeah.
mess this up. So,
Tell us how you got into working on them. Well, obviously, because you're an animator.
Visual effects artist by trade. So,
Yeah.
so my day job is lighting on big budget visual feature films like
Yeah.
X-Men and Wolverine and
Yeah.
Hunger Games and all that.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
Yeah. Which I'm assuming sounds amazing, but
It's-
you're giving a 10-minute clip that you live with that
Yeah,
clip. Is
it's-
that's all it
It's
is?
not glamorous at all.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, maybe the end result is kind of fun or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
8 to 10 hours a day of
Same footage,
Yeah,
same footage.
again
yeah.
and again.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much what we do. Well, not big budget, but like we sit again and again over and over and stuff like that. But
Well, if you've done that already, then you can work.
Then we
work
get-
with visual
that's what we already knew.
effects.
Like
Yeah.
it must be that.
That's-
So,
Add a special effect in now.
Yeah.
all right. So yeah, we're talking more about the the career with Rising Sun and stuff like that. What main roles have you been doing with that? 'Cause you've done the Quicksilver sequence in Days of Future Past.
Yep.
And also in parts of it in Apocalypse as well.
That's
Is that-
right. Yeah.
So we're talking the sequence where everything's in slow-mo.
That's right.
And he's
yeah.
running around
Running
the
around.
room like
It's the most memorable scene from the film.
It
Like,
is.
it is. Even in Apocalypse as well. Like hearing Sweet Dreams playing to him running through the exploding mansion. Unreal. Like I can't take anything away from that film other than that. Like that was incredible.
Well, it's quite an honor that Rising Sun got to work on probably the most memorable moment of those two
Yeah.
films, and we've been told that constantly as
Yeah.
well. So, when we were given the first Quicksilver sequence, I remember like it was just a logistical nightmare because it was shot in stereo. And there's there's like 5 or 6 different speeds that the camera was moving, and like the actors, like no one can hold like their arms straight, and so the compositing artist had to like do stabilization on arms on a moving camera in stereo. I mean that's just one small aspect of the.
straight over my head. I got no.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sitting here going, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're saying, but
It's
okay,
a
it's
hell
full
of a
on.
lot of work.
Yeah.
And I came up with a novel lighting setup for that, where when a 3D lighter lights the scene, you build your lights and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I looked at the data and I realized that this could be easily done by. So on set, what's captured, there's a lot of data that's captured on set, and one of the 2 types of data that's captured on set. First of all, it's called LiDAR data, which is a 3D geometry representation of the room that someone scans, and then it gets recreated as geometry in the computer,
Right.
and then gets cleaned up. And then the second type of data are called HDRIs, which are you place a camera in a position and at 4 angles, and you capture 7 exposures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you build a spherical picture from it, but at multiple exposures.
It's full on.
So you've got the reason why it's multiple exposures is. I know there's a bit of lighting theory. You guys up for this?
Bring it on. You can bring it on.
To me, it's like
Okay.
a Rubik's
I
Cube.
think I'm following this.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll
You
try and
guys-
give you an example of what
Okay.
you can understand. So, if you on a bright sunny day, if you hold up a piece of paper next to the sun and you take a photo, when you bring that into your computer and you check the white levels, like your paper will be white and the sun will be white. But we all know the sun is brighter than the paper.
Yeah.
Right. So a low dynamic range will only capture something from 0 to 1, which is black to white.
Yeah.
But a high dynamic range image can capture data above 1.
Yeah.
So you can capture your sun value might be 32,000 and your paper might be 1. So the values are the colors.
Yeah.
So all these and the on-set data crew for Days of Future Past were amazing. In this one room, they captured like 7 different points, and so I was able to grab these HDRIs, grab the data from the LiDAR scan, and project at many points of the room the HDRIs onto the geometry. So basically the whole room is one light source.
Yeah, right.
And so you get this beautiful position. So on a darker surface, it doesn't
Yeah.
give off much light. On a reflective surface, it
It'll
gives
give
off
off
more
more.
light.
Yeah.
And so the entire shot, apart from I think 2 or 3 shots, was maybe augmented by just a couple of extra lights, but almost all of it was lit by one single geometry light. And it's something that RSP had never done before.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
So
And like, how long did you that sequence? How long are you years working on that? A year?
Oh no,
Or
no,
no?
that was like about 5 or 6 months. No,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get picked up on that. I mean, and there's probably like pre-production work added into it.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I remember being on it for about 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, yourself. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's about 30 or 40 people
just doing
full time working on that, and it was, and for only 29 shots.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
which
it.
is so
But how do you find that? Because you're still working at Rising Sun while doing your own like film. Like, How? What?
How do you sleep?
Yeah, what's
When
going
do you
on?
sleep?
And being
Yeah.
a parent. You've got a 4-year-old.
I've got a
Don't forget about
4-year-old.
that.
No,
Like,
so,
what's
first
going
of
on
all,
there?
I got a very forgiving family.
Yeah.
Second of all, I average about 4 hours sleep a night.
Okay.
But no, like, yeah, still have a full-time job, which also has its crunch periods.
Yep.
So, like,
Yeah.
so the last X-Men went through, like, a few weeks of, like, 7-day weeks and, like, between
Because
9
it's still
to
deadlines.
12-hour days.
Yeah, that's
and-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, the answer is you just got to make it
just
work
do it.
somehow.
At
Like,
what point are you working up to the release date? Like, at what point is it just cut? Like, is it a month before? Is it weeks before?
About
Like,
an hour.
yeah, but-
yeah, it's just like, this film comes out tonight. Like,
Well, sometimes the film producers will try and play tricks on it and say, well, look, we need it by this time when there's obviously a little bit... I mean, there's a trick to everyone. Sometimes you are working up to it, right up until the hour that you're supposed to deliver. Sometimes, for example, RSP worked on Tarzan, that's... Is it in? No, it's not theaters yet. It's coming out.
It's coming out
soon.
soon. Yeah.
And that one, RSP finished up their work on it maybe I think 5 or 6 months beforehand.
Oh, okay.
You know,
so well before it's
but a
out.
lot of the summer blockbusters,
Yeah.
you're working up through May and April, or April May, and then you're trying to madly get it ready for those summer tent poles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird as well, because like here we are saying you're working on that one sequence for so many hours, but you're doing the exact same thing in your films as well. Like you know what I mean? So do you finally get to watch that final product and go, I'm kind of over it now? Like, do you,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the time it comes out, is it sort of, yeah?
It's not by the time. It's
It-
way
it's
before.
way before the time,
Oh,
yeah.
You can be over something. Like I spent, which is the longest I've ever spent on a project. I spent a year on Gods of Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was it's a lead lighter for that time, and there came to when it came out in the cinemas, I just didn't even want to see it.
Yeah.
Like,
I've seen what I need to see.
yeah. But but other films like the first Quicksilver sequence, like
Yeah.
you know that you're going to be working on something special
Yeah,
beforehand. And when we were told, which is something I can also reveal, is that RSP worked on season 6 of Game of Thrones.
Oh,
So
wow.
when we
Okay.
told that we were going to work on that was also a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Is it, I'm assuming you just get put in a room and then, hey guys, we're doing this now? Or
Well,
is
no,
it-
sometimes like information just gets dribbled
It
out
leaks.
through
Yeah.
various people. Like, oh, okay, we're working on that. Oh, and then suddenly like, oh, is that Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Is that the Game of Thrones logo?
Yeah. Is there anything that you didn't want to work on? You like, I wish I just saw this. Like, I was being a movie buff. You're like, I wish I wasn't working on this. I wish I was just seeing it in
Yes.
cinema or something like that.
I didn't want to work on because I
Because-
didn't like it, or because I like.
No, because you liked it that much, you didn't want to.
Oh
be
yeah, no,
writers.
Game of Thrones.
You don't want
Yeah,
to be working.
I spoiled because I was on working on the project, and you see work uploaded in Shotgun, and then
Yeah.
you check out other people's work, and you see a shot. Oh, I didn't want to see that! And no, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't
can't
do
avoid
that.
it, so it's-
Yeah. I can imagine working on all these things, you get quite frequent of the pause button to catch your name in the credits. there I am!
Well, no, you can,
right there.
You can always tell the visual effects artists in the cinema, or also anyone in post production, because they're all the people left over.
Oh,
Yeah,
originally,
oh,
credits,
yeah.
Well, in the last X-Men film, a lot of the people that I went through uni with are now on as junior.
Yeah, we hired a lot of
junior artists and stuff. And you're watching the latest X-Men, you're like, I know that person! I know that person!
That's right. And
Yeah.
and especially we've been in the industry 20 years, and you get to know a lot of people, and it's respect. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'd like people to see my name in the credits, so I always sit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Family members like my mum and dad and brothers, they know that they're going to see a movie with me, and my friends,
You're going to watch.
they're going to be sitting through the credits.
Which is, I guess, fine with a lot of the Marvel stuff now has that end credit scene.
Exactly, yeah.
And-
And you'll be surprised, a lot of people still walk out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
You see people like,
Go on, leave.
newbies.
That's it.
But I'm almost thinking, like, the person that made the end credit scene big, like, I'm just saying, like, Sneeze Me Away had an end credit scene. That was
there
way
you go.
before some of these big
Yeah,
stuff,
thank
you know?
very much.
There you go.
That's it. Ahead of the curve there.
Yeah. So it's like that reward. So are
the
you
reward.
going to do anything like that with Cyan-Eyed? Maybe? Have to wait around and see, guys.
Maybe.
Sit there and read all the names. Be thankful.
That's it.
Awesome.
All right, but also, working obviously because you worked on animated films such as Happy Feet and obviously X-Men, like so live action and animated.
Yep.
Is there a big difference between working on
Yeah.
animated lighting and like?
Yeah, there
True
is.
lighting,
There is. So the life of a good lighter, it's like, contrary to like popular belief, a lot of the times of visual effects people and lighters is basically putting real things into shots that you wouldn't even know, like
Yeah.
replacing a number plate, putting a manhole cover down there, like
Yeah.
a lot of the invisible effects, and you have to match to the plate, to what's being shot.
Yeah.
But with animated films, and I've worked on 3, The Wild, which was Disney, and I worked for a Belgian company. We made a film called Sneeze Me Away, which they tout as the world's first animated film specifically for stereo.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So and it is a lot more creative, and
Yeah.
and you get to have a lot more input into lights, and it's a lot more emotive, and also sure the sun is over there, but you know, maybe the sun's over here.
Yeah, you
for
can
that
move them
shot,
around or whatever.
I mean that happens in visual effects, but to a much less extent.
Yeah.
Because if you got people sitting in a scene or whatever, you can't exactly move the object, the lighting of the object. So
Just got to work with what it is in that live action.
yeah. So they both
Fantastic.
have their
Full
pros
on.
and cons. Like the visual effects stuff is a lot more technical and a lot more like PFing, pixel effing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, got it.
yeah. And but animated films are a lot more creative. So there are pros and cons for it all.
Oh, fantastic.
But what made you go from there to writing, directing? Like, where was the?
Yeah, well, so I realized at one point in my career that working in visual effects, while fun, like I wasn't satisfying the creator in me, and I realized that the creator had been growing for a while, and I was trying to
Looked like a
sort of
monster, like this, was it?
break free. And so then I got a crazy idea to my wife. How about we go and live with your parents in Korea for a year and work on an animated film, not knowing why or really. She was like, sure.
Why not?
So that's what we did. So because my wife's Korean, so we moved in with them. But what really like saved that production is that we didn't know it at the time, that when we arrived, my mother-in-law, who never liked to throw away things, we found out that she was had rent a studio apartment about 10 minutes walk away that she was storing furniture in. So we turned that into a little workspace. Yeah. And it was great because like leaving home to go work, even if it's on your indie project, I think is really important. I knew a guy who worked at home, and what he would do is he would like get up, get ready, walk out the block, and then come back in the front door to kind of signify.
Oh, really?
It's
That's
psychological
work mode?
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So working on this film, and what was supposed to be an 6 to 8 minute film turned into a 13-minute film, and my wife painted about 70% of the backgrounds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wicked.
But we learned very quickly that we'll never work together again. I don't know, like all married couples have their, they go through rough moments every now and again, but then it's worse when you're working with that person side by side.
Yeah.
And
There's no break. There's no break.
Yeah, there's no break. Like, she did an amazing job, and we love each other and but yeah, I won't direct her again.
So she's kicked off. She's not working on the new one here.
She will do a little bit here and there, but no. So I released that, and that went great. And then I thought, what can I do to make things interesting for my next film? And my heritage is Latvian. This is a Latvian ring, and I've always wanted to find out more about the country that my grandparents came from, my heritage.
Yeah.
And what does a filmmaker do? They make a film about it. So I scoured, went through all the folk tales and all this kind of stuff, and I came up with this beautiful true story.
I know, I saw that. It was true. It was
yeah, and it was a tragedy, and so I went from a children's comedy to
completely different.
That seems like kind of logical, Why not? And released that, and then again, what can I do that's completely different than what I've ever done before? And then Cyan-Eyed came out. So
is there a real art to sort of thinking of like, what is the next project? Does it just come to you? Is it something that you built?
It's kind of both. after the Road to Toretto finished, I was actually developing 2 projects simultaneously, and it wasn't until I finally realized that one was another like arty festival film, and the other one was Cyan-Eyed, and then I came to the conclusion that for what I want to do, the festival circuit is dead.
Yeah.
And so I've had it with it's this roller coaster ride of emotions that you release a film, and it gets into one film festival. Then you get a rejection, and then 2 more rejections, and you get another acceptance, and then another rejection, and it's just
ups and downs,
and your film gets tied up for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then when it finally is able to release publicly, because a lot of festivals won't show your film if it's being released online because they like the exclusivity on it, then you've lost your notoriety wave and it just kind of dribbles out, or not all the films, but not every film is a huge film, right?
Yeah.
So I thought Cyan-Eyed, which is an anagram of eye candy.
There you go.
It's basically it's for the people. It's an action film that has no dialogue in it, and it just basically it's just gonna hit hard. Be an action film, release online, bypass the festival circuit, save myself a couple of grand in the process.
That's perfect. So.
And it was always steampunk based. Like that was the vision from the get go.
I've always been a bit of a fan of steampunk.
Yeah, I love steampunk.
Like some of my favourite cities
cosplay?
was Children, and I want to. My wife and I were talked about it, and that's something hopefully I can eventually get into. Or maybe I'll cosplay from characters from my film.
That's it. Way to promote it out.
But it's always been steampunk.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Awesome.
So, but you've had the last ones. They were put in film festivals.
Combined
around the world.
over 100 film festivals,
Yeah.
including Oscar-affiliated festivals and SIGGRAPH and all this kind of stuff. So, and won a whole bunch of awards.
Yeah.
But then I realized, as a filmmaker, you think that that's the logical way of getting known or moving on to bigger things, and I realized absolutely nothing happened. Zero.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So
But
they sort of put it in there.
You got your name out.
I think so.
So,
I don't know. I don't even know that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But so it was you went against, as you said before, against Pixar as well. You were put in the same year as Pixar.
Yeah, so SIGGRAPH, which is the world's best computer graphics conference. My film got in. Technically, it meant that it was at the same level. The Rose of Toretto, I spent a year on look development and creating a style for. And so it's a single shot, all only made with computer generated particles. Just drawing images.
So was that used from your own engine, computer engine that you have developed, or is it just?
No, there was different bits of software just utilized in a novel way.
Oh, fantastic!
So, and I built my own light box, and I photographed sand scatter patterns, and then developed birthing masks of particles from those patterns, and that turn into the images.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
And okay, just getting back to Cyan-Eyed.
Yep.
How long have you been working on that so far? Is this a project
for both of you, really?
Is this a project that came to you originally when you started writing it, years ago, or is it something that's...
You know what? I was trying to think about this the other day. I can't remember the first moment where Cyan-Eyed became a thing in my mind. But all the films, it's one film you go to film and it's in the festival circuit, obviously you want to start working on something else. And so there's always overlapping happening to it.
I've been involved for a year and 3 or 4 months now.
Wow,
it's pretty long.
Yeah,
but
for an 8-minute film.
It's pretty extensive.
Jeez, you start breaking it down. How much was that month? That was 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's probably, I think, been in pre-production, production sort of just being done for about 3 years.
Something like that.
Yeah, since the first, let's actually do something on this film. But I haven't been involved for all those 3 years.
No, you've just been involved for the crazy production year.
The mental section there.
It actually was, it's a lot more easier in pre-production. I don't know if you...
I must admit, having been involved in a project from its creation
Yeah.
would be a lot nicer.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
stress
So
levels.
you'll know everything that goes with it. Yeah.
I came in on the project once it was really underway. It was in production.
Yeah, you hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Like, no sane person would do that, by the way. So, I don't think you fully knew what you were getting yourself into.
No.
I'm like,
So what happened? You just showed up one day? Like, how does how'd you get involved?
Well, I was at uni and I was just in a class that was called Industry and Practice.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
very, very
Yeah.
riveting. And then one day, Ryan turns up as a guest lecturer and he talked about his career in the VFX industry
Yep.
and what he's planning on doing now and his transition, which was really good because we'd had a few different lecturers come in and talk to us.
Yeah.
And we're all sitting in the class going, this is our third year. We've got to do something. We've got to
Yeah.
choose what our topic of
Where you wanna
career
head.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It might change, but we've got to choose something soon. And Ryan suggested, he's like, write down your name and what you plan on doing.
at the very end, I was like, I'm using this for my own thing
Yeah,
too.
why
you know?
not? Yeah.
Like, because they wanted to. I mean, essentially, was talking about my career in visual effects, but I'm like, no, this is like for me too. So.
Yeah.
I really want to direct this film that I'm already directing.
Right at the end.
Yeah.
Write down your name and details and what role you might be able to do. And I'm like,
Yeah. Anything? Yeah.
I'm sitting in a room full of animation students
Yeah.
and people who want to be the director of everything
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and all these people who are going into very niche sort of
Yeah.
sections that animation there's a lot of animators but it's very specialized, whereas you've got directors, 1 out of 10 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm sitting in the class going, what do I do? What do I choose? And so I decided that maybe production would be the way to go.
Yep. Yep.
I naturally can file paperwork. Let's
Yeah.
give that
Why
a go.
not?
I
Yeah.
didn't know that, by the way. You didn't know you wanted to be in production until
Well, it was
when I asked.
Yeah.
What, really? Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I mean, she does it so naturally. I wouldn't even thought about it.
it's. I at the time we were partway through a project about we had to choose someone from the film industry who inspired us.
Okay.
And I thought, well, I don't really know what role I want to do, so I'm just going to choose someone who has the same sort of personality as me.
Okay.
And I chose Alma Hitchcock.
Okay.
Because she was, and in researching her, I found that she was very much a support for Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
In that she was a 16-year veteran of the industry before he'd even picked up
Oh wow. Okay.
anything.
Yeah.
She got him his first job in the industry.
I didn't know
She
this.
was his
This is
boss.
crazy.
Yeah,
okay.
right.
Full on.
And then he asked her to marry him, and they decided that they would, work like that. And she was just she was a producer, she was a writer, she was an actor, she was everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And she just spread herself out. She started out as the coffee girl. On
Okay,
set.
and worked the way up.
Yeah,
Yeah, full on.
So I thought, well, her personality of just getting on with something,
Yeah.
going down a path, and for me, production, I feel like it's involved in everything. I
Yeah,
get to see a range of what people are working on.
Yeah.
So why not do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Full on.
So production.
Production.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
he's
it.
like,
Yeah.
what was your thought process in that one?
Well, no, like, I don't know if you know this, but I had you vetted. Like, so there was a few members of your classmates, and also Dave DeVry is like, yep, she's good.
Oh,
She's
how
really
nice.
There you
organised,
go, look at
and-
that.
So yeah.
Awesome. And then from there, the first day you got on there, chaos.
Absolute chaos,
Yeah,
especially
you had no
considering
idea.
I had
No, yeah. You,
up until the point I'm working on this project, I really didn't know how to use a computer properly.
yeah. It's all coming out now, folks. It's all happening. Facebook.
I was like, I kind of know
Yeah.
how to do stuff, but one of our first email conversations, he's like, "Can you just get onto the FTP server and do this?" I'm like,
Yeah.
What is an FTP? Yeah. Hell.
and so I was on the phone to him for hours
I remember
at
that.
a
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And just talking through the step. Okay, so go to this website, download this software.
Yeah.
Like, host name is...
Go. Yeah, wow.
It took so long.
Yeah.
And in those days, we were doing everything by email.
Oh, okay.
Now we're being sponsored by Shotgun. They've given us a free license for the duration of the project.
Yeah.
And that makes it so much easier.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Shotgun is
Yeah, I was gonna say.
something that most of the top visual effects studios use to track assets and shots.
Yeah.
It's an online system that you upload work to, work gets reviewed, and then tasks get created and scheduled and all this kind of stuff. And I mean, I've worked with Shotgun through Rising Sun and some other companies for a while now.
Yeah.
And I wrote to them and said, look, indie filmmaker, no money, help, I can give you credit. And they said yes, because and it would have been quite costly for me to run that. And if it wasn't for maybe for teams with less than 5 people, it could have still been manageable. But I knew how many people were eventually going to come onto this film, and there's no way we could have gotten it.
It just
done
kept
without
building.
it.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Like,
Who are you talking about now?
Yeah,
When did they get on the project?
That's right. Like any given week, I'll be like, "Oh, and Jasmine, this is a new person coming onto the film." She's like, "Oh, really? Okay."
What
What
do they do?
do they do? Yeah. So
Full on,
Shotgun
yeah.
really has been. So thank you, Shotgun. This is some free advertisement for you. You're the best.
So, a lot of travel for you guys? You have to keep going overseas to meet up with it, or it is still through a lot of correspondence, phone, emails?
This day and age, you don't if you didn't have to leave your home, you could make the film, especially an animated film.
Yeah.
If you did,
Yeah, it's really nice, especially Shotgun makes everything so much easier.
Yeah.
It's like a virtual office.
Shotgun. I'm going to Google that straight away.
It's like a virtual office.
Yeah.
It's got aspects of Facebook, and you can message people and write notes and link people's projects or versions of a shot, an asset, anything.
Wow, okay.
To a note, and you can just keep finding everything, and it has like a diary section as well where you can keep up with what people are and aren't doing.
Wicked.
That's fantastic. But yeah.
Well, you've talked about the art style. We're talking, you've done that. Now I want to talk about the sound, because there's something really exciting.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be the one to say it. I think you should definitely say it, Ryan.
All right, so the world's best sound design studio, George Lucas's Skywalker Sound, are doing sound for Cyan-Eyed.
That's amazing!
That's fantastic.
That's awesome!
And the sound designer specifically who worked on it has worked on Toy Story 3, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. The Foley artist, he goes back 40 years. He's worked on E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark, Interstellar. There are some major heavyweights working on the sound.
But how did that come about? How does that happen?
I just sent them an email. I said, look, I got this. I'd completed the previs.
So you had to show them footage? Yeah.
Previs is a blocky, really basic version of the film before it's made.
Is it kind of like a working storyboard?
Yeah. It's a working 3D storyboard.
Okay, cool.
And I cut some temp music to it and whatever, and I sent it to them, and they said, "Look, this sounds like something that we can be a part of." So,
You framed that email reply. That's right. Yeah.
So in October of last year, myself and my family had a road trip through the US, and so we coincided that with a stopover at the Skywalker Sound. Just to figure out the contracting stage and all this kind of stuff. So I got a tour of the facility, and in conversation with the director of production, John Null, he said to me that he turns down 4 or 5 indie films a day. And I said, well, why did you say yes to Cyan-Eyed? And he said, well, I mean, he said we saw something special. And he said, also, it's felt like a Marvel film, and they would know they work on Marvel films.
Wow.
That's
full on.
So we locked it in and got the scheduling right and all this kind of stuff.
And that's happened now? They're still working on it, or is it...
Yes and no.
Yeah, okay.
So there was a version of the film that we were trying to complete. Sound was scheduled to be a week before last.
Yeah.
And so everyone, mainly the animators and myself, were working really, really hard on trying to get the character animation done to everything that was a sound cue.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, due to the nature of indie projects or whatever, not everything got done. So there's about like a handful of shots, maybe 10 or 15 shots that like never eventuated to their final stage.
Yeah.
So Skywalker said, like, we'll bank a couple of days and then you tell us when you want to come back to basically do a final pass at it.
Cool.
So we're hopefully scheduling for the end of the year to go back, and I'm
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's what. Yeah. And then I want to, and also it's another excuse for me to actually get back on the ranch. You know, because you can't stay at Skywalker Inn unless you're doing something there. So no member of the general public is just allowed to rock up.
So you got to be a part of the project.
So it's probably one of the most exclusive hotels in the world. You can't stay there unless you're making a film or doing something.
Are you
to
allowed
it,
to take
so.
pictures? Like,
No. Well, okay, so there are rules. So no pictures indoors at all.
Wow.
No pictures of outdoor areas unless you're in them.
Okay.
Technically, no posting of any photos to social media.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to take a photo of the main house, which is George Lucas's office and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, wow.
There's a lot of like rules.
Yeah. But okay, without giving us too much away of the inside, it meet expectations. Like, it was
My
just,
goodness,
it's
unofficially known as Disneyland for filmmakers.
Yeah.
Because like you'd stay there and you'd have breakfast. Like one morning, I was having breakfast with an author who's making a new book on Star Wars, and he's been allowed into the archives and opening up boxes of documents that they don't even know what's in there, and then documenting them and all that kind of stuff. And then the next day, you're meeting with other filmmakers who are doing other stuff, like then documentaries, and also the music gets scored there and all this. It was amazing. Oh my goodness, it's summer there right now too, so and I was like, you hike and it's fresh air and you're meeting cool people and you're just like getting away from it all, and you're surrounded by people who are there like and who know their stuff.
It's all the same passion, so you're on the same vibe, aren't you? So.
And what I found is that even though like the people who work at Sky Sound have been doing it, like everyone has been there, I don't know, 5 years, 20 years, 15 years, whatever, they it feels like they still have
that
like,
passion.
And so it was.
So it seems you're geeking out over it, and then you must
totally geeking out.
But you must pinch yourself, and you're there because it's your film.
I know.
Like,
I know.
What I mean?
That's the thing. You know, like I'm a Skywalker Rush. But wait a minute, I was Skywalker Rush because of me. And so it really felt amazing. But also on I have to give a shout out because sound is also sound design and music. My composer Nicole Brady was able to organize like one of the 3 top guys in Hollywood to organize the music for Cyan-Eyed. So Nicole composed the music, and then then this guy Peter Rodder, who's worked on Avatar and Toy Story and all this kind of stuff, he organized members of the London Symphony Orchestra or whatever to play the music for the orchestral recording of the music, which happened a few days earlier in Los Angeles. So we went to the States, we went to Los Angeles first for music recording, and then we went to Skywalker Sound. So like as far as sound is concerned, and thanks to Nicole about this, I don't know, you can't get better.
This is the best.
This is the best. And this is a short animated film. I only just arrived back a couple of days ago from the States, so still trying to get over jet lag, but I'm just going like I haven't seen Jasmine yet, like on the drive over here. We got into the car and I know I was supposed to prepare for this. I was just going I did this and then that and then this and then she's like right, true producer form. Prepare. Okay. What are the questions? All right.
Party pooper.
It's brilliant.
But necessary. But it's an amazing experience, and making a film was almost a means to get into the ranch. So it's like, I've got to make more things just to do that.
I bet you're leaving. I'll be back. I'll be back.
No,
next one I'm coming back.
I told everyone I was going to be back, regardless.
Brilliant.
But one thing I want to ask as well is, as an animator as well, because you've done a lot of stuff in the past, with obviously the big budget films, and you're like, give that up, move on to the indie stuff now. What is the real differences? Like, obviously you've got your own freedoms to make so much with your own stuff now. what were the limitations when working on big blockbuster films? Like, obviously you said you can't really create. Obviously you're set to a certain guideline.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what is the massive difference? Like, obviously, besides the full creativity, obviously.
Well, so like it's a bit of a party pooper as well, but budget. Like,
yeah. Oh, right.
So I'm pretty proud in the sense that everyone who works on my films gets paid something.
Yeah.
No one works on my films for free because I wouldn't want to do that to other. I wouldn't want to work for free either. So I mean, while I won't be able to pay industry rates, there is some kind of exchange of of money, because,
which is awesome because that doesn't happen everywhere.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I mean?
Everywhere.
Like
everyone. I mean,
yeah.
you probably can speak to that more than anything else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, this is my biggest project at the moment that I'm working on.
Yeah.
And I think without money, I don't think like...
yeah. I need to live as well, guys.
Well, that's what I recognize. So, like, money and budgetary concerns is always a thing for me. It might not be for other filmmakers who try to rely, because, like, what's that saying? If you pay people peanuts, you get monkeys.
Yeah,
I'm paying people one step up from peanuts, but they're still delivering me amazing work.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I mean, more as like, back when you were doing stuff like, like the X-Men films and stuff like that as well, like, how much free creativity did you have putting it into them, into your own indie films? Like, do you get to say, I want to add this amount of light here or this amount of thing here? Or
yes and no. So with the visual effects, like, especially on the lighter, I mean, we're not real artists, we're craftsmen. And if you know your art history, like, an artist is someone who can, like, inspirationally create work and create imagery and form. Craftsmen are people who fulfill a need based off of a brief from someone. So we're really fulfilling a brief and trying to hit the notes. Yes, we're tasked to always come up, with interesting solutions or whatever, but sometimes you just got to do what you're told.
Yeah.
And
make your own indie things and you can do whatever you want with it.
Exactly.
That's
I do whatever I want. But hopefully finish it as well.
Yeah.
Because like, so many people, they'll start things and not finish it, and it's all got to do with motivation. And to motivate yourself. Like, no sane person would take on a project that takes multiple years, that can be just watched in minutes.
Yeah,
and
it's all over.
You said something earlier which is awesome, which is you just keep working up until the day that you can't anymore because it's released.
Yeah, that's it. No film is ever finished. You just run out of time.
So you could, if you could go back now, you would change some of your other.
I wouldn't go back.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't go back.
Just keep moving forward.
Yes, I mean, there's always changes I could make, but that's in the past.
Yeah.
In the past, it can't change.
Move
on.
That's it.
Don't watch the films anymore.
Brilliant. That's it. Behind you. Move on.
That's it. Move forward.
And your daughter, 4-year-old daughter?
Yep.
Yeah.
4 years old. Yeah.
She loves your film.
Oh, she'd yeah. And I mean, obviously, I'm a big film buff. Like, I was very particular. Like, I knew the first film that I was going to introduce her to was My Neighbor Totoro from Miyazaki. And she was not going to watch any but if I could help her. Obviously, the older she gets, I was very particular, and then when I mixed things in with the Iron Giant and My Neighbor Totoro and Spirited Away, and she wanted to watch it as much as I'm like,
oh wow,
that's it.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. I guess wrapping it up as well, like we want to talk about kickstarting a little bit.
Yes.
About that. So Cyan-Eyed, you're going to be raising funds through Kickstarter.
That's it. It's the first time I like, all my films have been self-funded, paying out of my own pocket. But Cyan-Eyed, while Sky Sound did give me let's say a good rate, still a fair chunk of change.
Yeah, that's it. It's got to come from somewhere.
That's right. So I'm hoping that with the quality that they're giving, that people will recognise that and would like to be a part of, basically something that has a huge quality level and So this is going to be new for. Well, have you?
I've never done a Kickstarter.
A lot of planning and all that involved, is it? Yeah.
I think we've pushed back the date a number of
So many
times.
times.
Only to be ready for it.
I
want to give.
give out something that's half baked.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
people know this, right? So we want to make sure that we've got all our ducks in a row. And I mean, what Jasmine and Sean, our PR guy, didn't know, basically about half an hour coming here, is that I pushed the date back
I'm walking up to your door. I'm like,
Yeah.
so when are we doing the Kickstarter? Not
Not
week.
next week
Next week.
anymore.
One
Okay.
more month. It's not ready yet.
Yeah. No,
So-
that's fine. And obviously, because Kickstarter always has goals, like as in what you can get. What are some of the things that you're going to do if people actually contribute? Can you say some of them now?
Yeah. So I mean, there'll be hard copies of the film. There'll be prints of the film, signed prints. Then I'm also doing something kind of special that I've never really seen done before.
Okay.
Is this will be for the largest amount possible though.
Yeah, we'll try and get that.
Yeah.
Every digital asset for the film, I will give to someone to use for non-commercial projects as is. So thousands of hours from over 30 people who have worked on it. And there'll only be a small.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if anyone's going to take this. This is me trying something new.
Yeah, wicked.
So like they can all the textures, the rigs, the models, the animation files, the compositing files, everything will be available to be used and reused and dissected,
utilised,
and I hope maybe used in other people's indie projects and all that kind of stuff too.
fantastic.
So
Or as a good training tool for an upcoming
Yeah.
animator who will look at this stuff and go,
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
it.
Like, because they're going to see the final product, and then they're going to have all these layers of stuff to work with. Like, you know what I mean?
everything
Like,
that
that's
went
really
into the
cool.
film getting in it. Yeah. And then they will also be offering some 3D prints of the characters and
Excellent.
and then lots of other various rewards as well.
Cool.
Brilliant. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, before we finally do it, tell us a bit of the story. Cyan-Eyed.
Okay. Cyan-Eyed is a steampunk action animated adventure about a robot that saves a little girl from a skyship and fights the sexy pirate captain.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
It's a popcorn. You
yeah.
sit there and eat popcorn
That's
and drink
right.
your Coke and
Like
just
I said,
watch.
Cyan-Eyed is an anagram of eye candy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like my other two films, which are very story driven, this one's completely the opposite.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch a really cool, just like action sequence and be highly entertained for
I know I do.
that 8
Yeah,
minutes,
absolutely.
then please watch Cyan-Eyed when it comes out.
Oh,
All right,
excellent.
well, jump on the Kickstarter, guys, because
Yes.
we'll definitely get that away. So
Definitely. All right, well, I guess that's it for the interview. Is there anything you guys would like to add?
No, thanks very much for this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. So
Yeah.
thanks for making me feel special.
you both are very special. You know, I think one of the big things for me is that you guys are from Adelaide. Like, a lot of
keep
people...
it real,
yeah,
right?
a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
don't realise that it's actually happening here in Adelaide.
It is,
And to
yeah.
me, it's brilliant.
There's a
Like,
lot of cool stuff happening
Yeah.
here in Adelaide.
So
Yeah.
to me, that's a very special
Yeah,
thing.
same.
So
Absolutely.
yeah. So yeah, thanks again, Ryan. Thanks again, Jasmine.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
And we cannot wait to see the final product.
yeah, that's it. So,
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
There you have it, guys. Thanks for staying tuned for that interview. I really enjoyed it.
I loved it.
Yeah. Now I want to go make a movie.
Make a bunch, make a series.
Jeez, big spender over here.
Oh, I had a good time.
Stay tuned, guys, because we're definitely going to have more updates from them.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to follow them along the whole way and stuff like that. So this
Yeah.
isn't the end right here. This is only the beginning.
Yeah, that's
Right.
right. So jump across. Here's one of the links right now, guys. Give them a like, a tick, a show of support. And here's the second link as well, just their Facebook page. So yeah, I've already liked them.
No, I have as well. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Awesome, guys. And the last thing is, this is not the end.
No, as we said, there's a Kickstarter coming up as well,
Yeah.
which we're going to be supporting ourselves as well. We're going to get behind this as well. We
Yeah.
love it. We hope you love it as well.
Throw a number out.
Exactly.
What are we going to support them with?
Thousands. We don't have that.
We don't.
Sorry.
$100. That's right. We're going to do $50 each, and we
Yes.
are going to be one of the first supporters of Cyan-Eyed. Guys, like this video and get behind them, because these are local Adelaide people and all around the world making movies.
It's pure love.
I'm Gander,
I'm Sopes.
and we'll see you next time on more special interviews from Make and Tane.